presentation.
No stone is unturned when you tune into Just Toy Talking Too Much.
Just Toy Talking Too Much.
We talking sex, marriage, relationships, prejudice, politics.
Girl.
Your rights, my rights, the way that I see it, the way how we talk. When we talk real talk.
And that's the double truth. Say, people, you talk too much. And if you're talking, you can't be listening. But you need to be listening to Just Toy Talking Too Much. Yeah.
And that's the triple truth, Ruth.
Greetings, and welcome to another episode of Just Toy Talking Too Much, where we talk real talk, we talk with your friends, and this is sponsored by Gangsta Glam, where we're all living life in the glamorous way. They can be found on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Gangsta, G-A-N-S-T-A. This is a women's online boutique. Please go and like them on Facebook and follow them on Instagram. Currently, they're doing their fall and winter pre-sale. Okay, and that's GANSTA.glam. They're one of our sponsors. So big shout out to Gangsta Glam for holding it down for us. We do appreciate that. So gratitude. Also, I can be found at www.justtoytalking2much.com, and go ahead and just give me the thumbs up in the upper right hand corner, the like button. That's it. And I can be found on Instagram at justtoytalking, the number 2 much. Just Toy Talking Too Much. I am a photographer, an author, a writer. Be out on the lookout. And this is why I'm doing this video. I'm doing the promo for the new book. It is called My Soul to Keep. It is a composition of short stories, my favorite short stories, all being in this book, and some poetry. So I'm excited about that. A setback is just, a setup. So my setback of my original book is just going to, I'll get back with it, but it will be the setup for something different. Okay, so I always promise my disclaimer to spit and spew my truth and be transparent and direct. People can teach you two things: what to do and what not to do. So, we're living examples. We're all mentors, even if we don't want to be. We all live our lives publicly in some way or another, whether it's on your job, with your family, your friends, your family acquaintances, associates, strangers, whatever the case may be. We all live our lives openly. So I'm back, and even though I haven't gotten fully my set done, meaning that I don't know how I am able to move my desk from this comforting place and have and put it in front of my green screen and CPU and everything, and have the space and lease space. So this is one of the things I'm trying to figure out, and I'm going to have to do something else in order to be able to communicate and do that, because that is ready, and I did invest in that, so we need to get that done. Anyways, this edgy, witty, raw, and candid rant of expression is going to be called "It's Hard Out Here for a Pimp." Yes, it is hard out here for a pimp. And trust me.
No.
Yeah, it's funny. Because some of the stuff that I see you people doing is letting me know that it is truly hard out here for a pimp. And, I like to consider myself a pimp in certain aspects and certain levels of the game, because we're all pimps. And so what I mean by that, we have to be in control of a situation. And that's how I take a pimp. In this particular way that I'm speaking, this is how I'm taking as a pimp. Not a man who has women underneath them and they're selling them for sex and they're coming and bringing them the money. I'm talking and putting the vibe and the energy and the explanation and definition to you as a person who is in control, because originally a pimp does have control of these women mentally and emotionally in some way, somehow, where they go out and have sex and bring them the money. So I'm thinking of that, it's getting hard. It's not as easy to put the women and the men on the block. It's just you have to do all these many different things and lure yourself in certain arenas in order to get a little something. And I can roll with that because I feel that we've all used people to a certain extent. Now, I don't mean the form of overly abusing someone, and some people can, but you use someone who will get you a glass of water. You say, would you get up and get me a glass of water? You use him. I need a ride. You're using them for a ride. You know what I mean? So we're always using someone. You use people for a difference in a variety of different things. You know what I'm saying? But it's not an abuse. May I use your car? Can you go to the store for me? Can you watch the kids for me? Can you pick me up some water and on the way back? For a meal. We use people for various things throughout our lives, but it's how you do it. And I'm going to admit, in my former life, let me get a drum roll first, please. I just need a little. A little bit of that in my life because I say and I set up things and manipulate situations because I'm a pimp. I want to control certain things. I want to control the influx, as much as I possibly can within my power to do. Not everything that you feel that you can control do you control. Life just doesn't work that way, because if it did, hey, we would all be millionaires and we would all have what we want, won't we? Wouldn't we? That's how I look at it. So let's get into this edgy, witty, raw, and candid rant now that I have explained to you my definition of a pimp. So it's hard out here for a pimp. Now, let's be clear. I have done some things in my former life, in my present life, and I'm sure there's probably things that I'll continue to do in my future life. However, I am not going to be living on lowered expectations.
Damn, girl.
No, meaning that I am not just going to take anything from anybody just so that I can have, because it's hard out here for a pimp. Like presently, my influx of income is not coming in as the way that I would want it to, but there are blessings and things set up where I'm being held in a net presently at this time of this video. So, I do have some, there are some people that are holding me down, but in the case of just letting yourself go, just to secure a little bit of the bag, like you just want some of the bag, you want a piece of it, a deficit, or what have you. You're a pimp, so you're in that soldier mode. You're just up your ants. You're fighting the power, and you're fighting the power in a real way, because you've got to get the bag. You've got to secure a little something, a deficit, a piece of something, and I get that. And I'm not mad at the men and the women that do that, because there are men and women out there that will allow you to do it. So I don't want to condone behavior at this point in time. What I want to say is that let's not lower our expectations. Let's not be the thought, that hoe over there, where we continue to, want to lay up with the NBA, the rapper, the NFL, and keep giving Fetty Wap more children, and keep giving Future more future, and his future, and our future, and children to this earth. Let's stop giving, Eddie Murphy, what is it? This is number 10. Let's stop the violence. Let's stop the madness. Let's stop doing these things, ladies, to catch a bag. Let's not put our lives on the line to be with a dope dealer or a boo boy, you know what I mean? Like, just so that we can secure a bag and get some money. I don't care how you feel,
Fuck you!
I'm sorry that you feel that way, but at the beginning and the ending of the day, let's not put ourselves and our cooter snaps on the line. I want you to do the right thing. I really do. So, and then we have the men that are just laying up on the women because, they've got to secure a bag. They've got to, they've got to they need somewhere to stay. They want to be great lovers. They want to be, great a fake fa, a step father to those 7 kids or 4 children that you have. And I'm not counting the women that have 6, 7, 3, 4, 5 children. That's not what I mean,
I'm sorry, sweetie.
And if you took it that way, that's not how I meant it. How I meant it is that this man comes into your home and he tells you everything, and he becomes a great lover, and he is everything, and he is wonderful, but he is really not who he says he is. He is a pimp at your door that is coming in to control your situation. He is coming and taking control, and he wants something from you. He is trying to secure some sort of a bag. That bag may be a place to lay his head, someone to fix his food, and then he can get a little here and there. You're setting yourself up, and you even have those who are doing it on the lower level, the lower expectation dude, or you have the dude who is doing it with the woman who is out there making the closest 6-figure or is making the 6-figure. So women and men out there, when you see these pimps, these are the fall pimps, and they're coming in here, you need to buck up.
Let's get ready to rumble!
And be a pimp and control your situation. That's what I'm trying to tell you, that if you're going to secure the bag, let's be clear on some of the things that we have to receive and some of the things that we might lose in conjunction, mental, emotional, time, effort, you're putting in energy towards this. So of course it's going to take something from you. That is what pimps do. It's going to take some from you, because, the old pimps back in the 70s, like, oh, she didn't bring me enough money. Now I got to go whoop on her. I got to put her in check. I got to pull her by her collar. I've got to do something to let her know I'm Papa, and you're not securing enough of the bag for me to live this lavish lifestyle and dress like this. So I need you to get on your game so that Papa, Daddy, whoever he is to you, is getting what he needs so that he can continue to live this lifestyle. Now, there's nothing wrong with help, but when you take it out of context, when you go way out of, by getting the baby, by laying up, by doing whatever it is that you need to do, to get some money,
Oh, hell no!
You don't have to put up with a lot. Now, for me, on my end, it would be, I'm not going to be with anyone that is not going to treat me or take care of them as I take care of myself. So mind you, when you came into this situation, I was already taking, whether I was struggling, whether I was doing well, whether I was doing extremely well, exceptionally well, I was taking care of my queendom on my own. Like, I wasn't laying up just to get a few coins or trying to secure a bag to pay rent, car note, car insurance. That's never been my tease. That's for that hoe over there. That's for that thought over there. But guaranteed, do that I have had my rent paid. Guaranteed that I have had someone put something on it. A car note, car insurance, yes, money in my pocket, shopping sprees, of course. And it's not to say that I am the type of woman that I have not been nurturing and understanding and compassionate and taking a man out to dinner. But we are talking about this pimp here, the one that is going to have control, and I don't have to give up a little cuter snap. Now, if I'm in a relationship, you put a little extra on it, then yeah, you want to soften up the situation. However, I have asked for ducats and have not had to pop open my legs to get $1 or $2. So if I've not done that in my career of hoism, that person over there or that chick over there, or in my promiscuous days, because I wouldn't really call say I was a thought, because I wasn't doing thought things. I was just being promiscuous, and that's the God's honest truth. But it's because I wanted to be that person at that time. I wanted to have control and choose who I would sleep with, who I would be with, and that's just being honest and transparent and direct. However, I wasn't going to do it to have my rent paid, because you will have control of my queendom, and you would want keys, and you would want to know who I'm talking to and come in and out of my house. And, that is something that I am not ready to do. And so when the first time that you said, well, let me have a key to the house because I want to come to the house because you helped pay it on $1, I'm ready to call the cops.
Negative, K. Nothing further. Just
because we don't do that over here. Not in this queendom, not in this pimp mode. I don't need you to have that type of control. So I'm going to do what I need to do. That's work a 9-to-5 job. And whether that job is paying $7, $8, $9, $10 an hour, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 an hour, and the hustle is slow, or whatever the case may be, I'm going to control my queendom. I'm going to do what I need to do as a woman, as an adult, to take care of my situation. So therefore, I don't have to ask anyone to take care of me. Now, knowing that and saying this, I am not going to put up with anything that is beneath me in order to secure a bag. Let's rewind that. Selector come back and he rewound. I am not going to put up with anything to get anything to secure a bag. I think we should rewind that one more time. I am not going to do anything with anyone to secure myself a bag. That's just not for me, And so, and I do. I am her. I am the pimp of my life. I am the queen of my life.
I gotta be me. What else can I be but what I am?
And so I'm going to be her. I'm going to make sure that I take care of everything that, and be me. And so I'm going to receive, and I'm going to give, and I'm going to ask, and I'm going to get what it is that I need, but within parameters. So therefore, I am not going to lay up with and receive something from individuals that are driving me nuts, which leads me into, it's hard out here for a pimp, but it is not that hard where you have to lower yourself and just receive and take anything from anyone just to have. Like, ladies, it's not that serious. I didn't say all ladies. I'm just saying, ladies, it's just not that serious. Just, that you want to lay up with someone that that you wouldn't be attracted to on the norm. Like, that's not you. Like, you know what? Wait a minute.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
You know that if you saw this man on another day, or what have you, that you wouldn't even step to him because he's not your type. You don't like him. But because he stepped out of the car that he stepped out of, because when he passed by you, he was smelling good, looking good, as far as dress goes, as far as, the senses goes. And he wasn't attractive. And the way that he was dressed. But, any other time, if he would have pulled up in something else, you would not have said anything to him. But he has to have a little money. And you know how men complain about women who are gold diggers, but yet they're putting all their gold out there so that they can attract women. So this is the game. We know the game. It's hard out here for a pimp. So I've got to do any and everything that I possibly can to draw you into my world because, it's hard out here for a pimp to get a woman, to get a man, and so now I want to take something from you. Let me tell you something. I'm going to have to let go of some of my bag. I have secured a bag where it is a huge assistance to me at this present time in this present video. But I am not willing to put up with a lot of the shenanigans, a lot of the bipolar issues, the personal issues, the depression, the suppression, the repression, the anything of that, because I will not be... I am not going to be her. You know what I'm saying? I am just not going to continue to go that route and continue to make myself look like an idiot because I'm doing all of this to secure a little piece of a bag that ain't even worth the bullet.
You're stupid.
Oh, I can be. And it's not worth to me at all. So for the women and the men that are going through all of this treachery and this BS just to secure a bag or just to secure a person or just to get something from a person or to utilize someone for a person for something, and you're putting up with stuff that you would normally put up with because you're in a lowered expectation situation. I get it. I truly and dearly do. It is hurtful. And let me tell you, I am there in life at this time in this video, but you are not going to flush my self-esteem down any toilet. So when I see people flushing their lives down the toilet just to have certain things, just to have a man, just to have a woman, because it's hard out here for a pimp, because the jobs are not paying, because the hustles are not doing that well, because their life is just not going as planned. And of course, life, there's a lot of turns and issues and ins and outs and all of that. Listen, I'm taking you to school right now. I definitely get that. There's a lot of things going on. We're all experiencing something. I'm telling you, at this time in our lives, financially, family, all sorts of situations. And no, do we want to go through them? No. But let's just say we don't have to sell our souls. It's hard out here for it, man. It's hard.
I didn't get your name. I got yours, Vincent, right? But I never got your
My name's Pip, and your ass ain't talking your way out of this shit.
You're not going to talk your way out of this ish that you're in. When someone says, and after it's over and the applause is over and all of that, and you're now in a precarious situation, and now you have to deal with the garbage that you've accepted, whether that was a roof over your head, whether that was to secure a bag, whether it was for a relationship, whether if it was for some, whatever. Now, because it's hard out here for a pimp, you have to be, a real pimp is very careful of the decisions that they make. I'm not saying that we don't get caught up in precarious situations, but it takes a real pimp to get you out of that situation slowly. You can't think and feel on emotions. Why do you think the pimps back in the day really didn't get attached to the women, really didn't really care about the women? Yeah, it was abusive. Of course, I do not condone such behavior of beating a woman and, just and on a woman's naivete, where I'm going to take care of you. I love you, because she comes from a broken place. And these pimps are able to see that. That's why they get these women to do what they're asking them to do, to sell their bodies for nothing and bring it to them and get really nothing in return. So if you're going to be a pimp, and I mean, there's good pimps and there's bad pimps, and there's sometimes we're great pimps and we do bad things, but on a consecutive, if you're controlling your situation, you're that pimp that I'm talking about, controlling your situation. Pimps weren't emotional. This is why they were able to beat chicks and hurt them and kick them and all this kind of stuff, because they didn't get emotionally attached to these women. So you can't get emotional when something that you're doing, because you're controlling, you're using a person here, you're bringing this in here, you're securing a bag over here, you have this type of relationship rapport, you're making things happen, and, because there's things going on in your life, so you got to do what you got to do. But in the good sense of way of not having a baby, not laying up, not having this person provide so much for you and have so much power and control, or you place yourself in a precarious situation, such as, I can snatch everything away from you because you're not thinking, and I can kick you out of my home, I can kick you out of my car, I can stop giving you money, and where is that going to lead you when I take this away? So if you were a good pimp while you were doing this and you were securing a bag, then you would have known that you had to take a little bit of this and put a little bit over there, and you had to build you a nest, and you had to get on your feet and get your act together, because you have a platform to do so. You got to take advantage of your situation. That is what a real pimp would do. I'm going to get these hoes, put them out there, I'm going to take advantage of the situation, and while they're doing what they're doing, I'm going to be stacking and getting a house, and I'm buying a car, and I'm doing this. So if I'm in a situation where I'm homeless, and this person say, hey, you don't have to pay rent, okay, well then I'm going to stack my paper to get another place. I'm going to stack my paper to invest in something else, build something else, get my hustle together, get another job. I'm going to do everything that I need, because I got to take advantage of the situation. So this is a pimp that is in control of their situation mentally. So you can't get emotional when you go into these situations and you try to secure a bag. These side chicks are no longer side chicks. These side men, these side piece men are no longer a side piece. They want to be recognized. There's men that are coming in and say, hey, I'm sleeping with your wife, I'm sleeping with your girl, player. It's just not the women that are doing it. the men are coming out and talking about how they hit this and how they had that and how they, got away with this and that and the third. And so, and the women are doing it and they're causing havoc, So, we don't have to be thoughts. We can keep it together. We can keep it together. We can't.
Are you ready?
Yes, are you ready to just keep it together? Don't get emotional. So when you see yourself, because you thought this was a good situation, and this was a situation that you could be a pimp over, and it didn't work out from trying to secure a bag, whether that's business person or whatever the case may be, then you have to figure out how to remove yourself from the situation slowly, because you got yourself into a precarious situation. It's okay. It's okay. It happens because you can't control another person's thoughts and their feelings and their emotions. It's okay. So what you do is you start, when the perception, always listen to your first mind, always listen to your soul, always listen to your spirit, your third eye, whatever you want to call it, always listen to that. And so you slowly start pulling yourself